Hi, I'm Marty Spann, and this week on Spook Nation, Spook is hunting right here in his home state of Tennessee. Spook likes to hunt anywhere, but there's something special about hunting here in Tennessee where he grew up. Although Tennessee bucks are not usually as big as the big bucks of Kansas and Iowa, Spook always manages to find a keeper. Armed with a bow, Spook takes his largest Tennessee whitetail ever on this episode of Spook Nation.
Spook Nation, nation. Eyes like an eagle, ears like a hawk, half man, half predator. He's living to stalk with the heart of a lion, the nose of a buck. It's blood, sweat, and tears, a skill, this ain't luck. From the day he was born, he had a burning desire to make Tennessee proud and set the world on fire. From the swamps to the Rockies to the North Pole, with a gun and a bow and a mission in his soul. Muscle and bone beneath the Under Armour. He's wearing a camouflage badge of honor, proud to wave the flag of the USA. He believes in God and family every day. He travels the nation, he's an inspiration. Welcome to the land of Spook Nation.
Spook Nation has been brought to you by Real Scent, makers of Spook Spans Wildfire, Under Armour, Athletes Hunt, Hydra-Track, it will get you there and get you back. PSE, Precision Shooting Equipment, Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. And Nikon, the trusted name in optics. On today's show, we're going to bring you a Spook Nation classic. We're going to reach back in the archives from 5 or 6 years ago. We're going to show you a buck that I had a lot of fun with. Killed him on some food plots that we took a lot of time to prepare on a piece of property that I've been hunting ever since I was 10 years old. Well, growing up here in Tennessee and growing up hunting here in Tennessee, I didn't realize it at the time, but what it was doing was preparing me for hunting everywhere else, because if you can kill a good buck here in the rolling hills of Middle Tennessee where I live, I think you can kill one anywhere. There's definitely deer that I would shoot here that I wouldn't even pick up my bow for in, say, Kansas, just because, you know, a 5.5-year-old here may only score 130, whereas a 5-year-old in Kansas or Iowa, he may be 190 or even 200. So, you know, it's not as much about the rack and the score as it is the age and kind of, you know, just the fact that we're able to do it here at home. I've got 6 or 7 spots around here I kind of call my favorite spots. They're anywhere from 10 acres up to about, 500 acres, and so they kind of vary in size, and those are the ones I grew up hunting on. A lot of these places are near and dear to my heart because I've been hunting them ever since I was a little kid, and they become personal. I mean, I enjoy hunting them, and it takes me back to my childhood and learning how to hunt these deer and what to do, all the things I strategize. I got places where I got stands stuck everywhere. Some of them been there 20, 25 years. Well, years ago, I kind of figured out that the best way for me to improve my chances of being successful here in Tennessee was to start putting out food plots, to try to draw the deer to a spot that I wanted them to go, rather than going out in these thousands of acres of rolling timber and trying to guess where they were going to be and try to pick out which individual oak tree they were going to eat under. And so I started doing food plots on all my spots, and it made a huge difference in my success. You know, I think 3 of the things that I'm going to look for when I'm deciding where I'm going to put my food plot is location, the size I'm going to build it, and the quality of the soil in the area that I want it to go, because I want it to be in a place where I can get in and out of it without spooking the deer, where I can, hunt it. I want to build it to a size to where I can hunt it. I don't want to build a food plot that's 300 yards long and I'm bow hunting on one end and there's deer feeding on the other. So I'm going to try to strategize the food plot to where, you know, I can hunt the whole thing. And then, you know, the quality of the soil. I don't want to build it in a rock pile. And if I do those three things, I know I'm going to be successful in that spot. Spook Nation will be right back.
When all the leaves are gone from the trees, but you're not, you need a camouflage designed to help see the season through. Mossy Oak's tree stand is the perfect combination of elements, colors, and contrasts that will hide you against the cold, gray skies of winter. From the heart of the grain belt to the buckle of the pine belt, Mossy Oak tree stand was created from the heart of our tradition with the late season deer hunter in mind. From the ground up, it's the elevated camo winner, hands down. Mossy Oak tree stand, camo that covers your obsession.
The rules have changed. The new Dream Season Evo is the ultimate hunting bow.
A bow this smooth is not supposed to be this fast.
The new PSE Dream Season Evo uses revolutionary center lock limb pockets, incredible planar flex riser, and the extremely durable 4th generation X-Force limbs that you have to shoot to believe.
A smooth draw bow that takes performance and accuracy to a whole new level.
Thought it couldn't be done?
Think again.
Experience PSE, experience performance.
Hey, I'm Spook Span. One of the most important weapons in my arsenal is fresh estrus doe urine, and now it's available to you through Real Scent. 100% pure, 100% fresh, delivered to your doorstep within 72 hours of collection.
We just set the world on fire, buddy.
Now you can set the world on fire with Spook Span's Wildfire.
Limited supplies available at spookspan.com.
This portion of Spook Nation is brought to you by Muddy Outdoors. Go Muddy.
Spook Nation.
When we found a deer that was just practically living on these food plots on this piece of property, and he was kind of a cool deer. I mean, he was a typical 10 with long brow tines, and he had 2 kickers off his G2 on one side, so he was easy to recognize, big-bodied. I think the deer was 5.5 years old, so we knew this was definitely a deer that we were going to chase quite a bit this year. First day, we go in, opening morning, we're gonna hunt this spot, which I don't normally hunt in the mornings here, but I decided to this day. She was a big old doe. We didn't see much, maybe a couple does, little buck or something, and we get down at like 10 o'clock, and I'm gonna look at my food plot, see how they look, see how many deer's been eating in it, how much sign there is around, and boom, we see this deer. He's laying down about 20 yards from the edge of the food plot, and he gets up, not too spooked, but just kind of walks fast off into the woods. It gave me a good opportunity to study him and watch what he was doing. We knew this was a good buck, and I figured that he was using this plot pretty often in the afternoons and at night. Well, I decided to give him a couple of days rest. I mean, even though he didn't know I was there, I didn't spook him, he didn't smell me or anything. We went back a couple of days later, and sure enough, we saw him again, but we saw him as we were going into the stand. Well, we're going into the stand, and we knew that, you know, this deer had been coming into the food plot regular, but I wasn't expecting him to be there 2.5 hours before dark. And it was 2.5, 3 hours before dark. I wasn't expecting the deer to be out that early. It was hot, early bow season, but he was. There was a couple does with him. I thought I was going to kill this deer going in. It was kind of fun, you know, I like that spot and stalk kind of thing, but ended up, he didn't get quite close enough for a really good shot. He really didn't know what was going on because his attention, for some reason, was directed towards those does the whole time. So I didn't feel like it was, you know, that I really messed him up very bad. It was a gorgeous day, gorgeous hunt, sun shining through the trees. He blew snot out of his nose a couple of times and it misted in the sunlight. I mean, it was really pretty. It was one of the prettiest scenes I've ever seen in the woods. And you know, it was just fun getting to see him like that because I knew as often as he was there that we were going to get a chance at him sooner or later. I decided after the deer left that we would just get out and not hunt that afternoon. So we backed out and just left it alone. I can't talk right now.
You got me in the truck.
Well, after we backed out, we decided we'd just go riding around the area a little bit and ride around on the other side and check out one of our other spots. And sure enough, we saw two really nice bucks cross the highway right there at my, you know, one of my other favorite farms. Oh, it was killing me. I mean, deer were obviously on the move. We saw some other does and little bucks when we were riding around. It made me sick that we weren't in the stand, but hey, sometimes, you know, that's the best option. Well, a couple days later, there's a front comes in. It's kind of misty, raining. It's cooled off some. It's one of those dreary, big buck kind of days that I like to hunt. I had a feeling that we were going to get an opportunity at this buck again. I wanted to go in at lunch and put a camera stand on a built stand that, you know, spot I wanted to hunt on this particular food plot where we'd been seeing him. So I go in at high noon, it's raining. I'm thinking that's a perfect time to move a stand and get in there, and boom, there's a little doe on the food plot out there just grazing, so I'm kind of being cautious, and that deer ends up walking out of the plot, and here he comes following that little doe. My instincts wanted me to crawl up on him and try to get a shot at him, but my mind was telling me the best thing to do was just to back out again and come back that afternoon. And, you know, I felt like that he would come back in that food plot that afternoon.
Spook Nation will be right back.
Made from 100% recycled materials in a proprietary design consisting of recycled foam and recycled fabric, Big Green Targets are the only true green targets on the market today. Combined with the exceptional stopping power of the 13-inch thick body, incredibly easy arrow removal, and 2 high-definition target faces, and you have the best 100% recyclable, 100% waterproof field point target available on the market today. Go big, go green, Big Green Targets.
I'm Spook's fan, and owning my own property is a secret to my success. This 900-acre farm is located in southern Illinois, and I killed a bunch of big bucks on it, including a 173-inch buck just this past season. My dad and I have had years of success on this farm, and now it can be yours. If you're serious about owning this farm or any other Spook Nation farm, give me a call at 615-797-9282 or email me at spookspan@yahoo.com.
Matt.
Illuminate, baby. We just lit up his world. He was a stud.
Tim Hunt at Illuminate, thank you so much.
So you're tired of watching big game on someone else's land? Put down those binoculars and put out Record Rack premium feeds to nourish and attract more deer. 50 years worth of whitetail research provides you with the year-round nutritional supplement that complements your property's natural habitat. Give deer the strength and health their bodies need to maximize genetic potential and start seeing bigger antlers, a healthier herd, and envious buddies. Feed smart, hunt hard, Record Rack.
You're watching Spook Nation.
Well, a couple days later, there's a front comes in. It's kind of misty, raining. It's cooled off some. It's one of those dreary, big buck kind of days that I like to hunt. I wanted to go in at lunch and put a camera stand on a built stand. So I go in at high noon. It's raining. I'm thinking that's a perfect time to move a stand. And we saw him as we were going into the stand. My mind was telling me the best thing to do was just to back out again and come back that afternoon, and you know, I felt like that he was going to come back in that food plot that afternoon. Well, this is the fourth time we've seen him, the second time I've backed off of him. We're going in this afternoon and we're going to kill him today. Well, these are my favorite days to hunt. I love these slow raining afternoons. Even though we had some periods of a little bit harder rain and I was getting wet, I was pumped. I mean, it was so pretty. That food plot was just glowing green. The leaves were starting to change. It was just a gorgeous fall October day with the rain coming down, and I just had that feeling today was the day. You know, I can't help when I'm sitting in that stand or, you know, on that farm in that area, think about all the success, all the fun, all the things that's happened to me there through the years. You know, I've been hunting this farm ever since I was a little kid. I mean, my mom used to carry me out here and drop me off, and I'd go hunting, and she'd come back and pick me up.
When Spook was young, he bought his first car. And it was kind of a gold and brown Cordoba. And he went deer hunting one day, and the next time we saw him, he's driving up in this car that he's so particular about, with this deer all across, tied across the front hood.
On the weekends, me and my dad would go hunt this farm, so you know, it's near and dear to my heart. I love it out there. And, you know, those are the kind of things I think about and reminisce about when I'm sitting there waiting on another big buck. You know, I'm sitting there and, you know, kind of caught up in the moment with the rain and the pretty fall colors and everything. And I look down in the woods and here he comes. I mean, it's like a ghost coming up out of the hollow or something. I mean, here he comes, just right up out from where I'd seen him go off in earlier in the day. And I mean, it was one of the prettiest sights I've ever seen. You know, I can tell he's headed right to the food plot, and you know, I know it's fixing to happen. It's just a matter of, you know, at what time I'm going to take the shot. I'd actually gotten up in the tower stand earlier to check my angles and make sure the cameraman was going to be able to see the deer in the places that I was going to be able to shoot. And so, you know, I thought I had a good idea where I needed to take the shot where he could get it on film.
Spook Nation will be right back.
With its no-maintenance marine-grade gel-coat fiberglass exterior finish, tinted tempered automotive glass windows, and seamless construction, there ain't nothing redneck about Redneck hunting blinds. These blinds feature world-class engineering and craftsmanship, spacious interiors, whisper-quiet flip-up windows, and fiberglass floors that will not rot. Redneck hunting blinds. It's more than just a blind. It's a redneck. Enter for a chance to win your very own Redneck hunting blind. Visit redneckblinds.com and register today.
When playing the waiting game with a mature buck, it's good to know if you're actually in the game or not in the game. 3 questions come to mind. Is my equipment safe? Solid? My personal favorite, comfortable? If you answer no to any of those 3 questions, chances are you only think you're in the game. Remember, success always begins with a choice. So get in the game and go muddy. It's serious gear for the serious hunter.
Spook Nation has been brought to you by
Spook Nation Farms, Biologic, Bad Boy Buggies, Illuminite, Big Green Targets. And to watch Spook Nation online, go to stickemarchery.com, the A to Z of archery. Well, because we weren't able to move the camera stand to where I wanted it to be, I had the cameraman get in an enclosed stand just about 30 yards from where I was going to be. I got in a built stand that I had built a few years ago in a red oak tree right in the edge of the food plot. It was raining, so it was good for him to be, you know, in the dry, and it made it a lot easier for him to film. You know, I'm sitting there and, you know, kind of caught up in the moment with the rain and the pretty fall colors and everything, and I look down in the woods and here he comes. I mean, it's like a ghost. Well, you know, after all the encounters, he must have read the script that day because he did it perfect.
Oh, baby!
So I couldn't hardly get that out of the tree fast enough. I was so excited. I knew I made a good shot. I knew he didn't go very far, and I was anxious to get my hands on it.
Oh, man, we come in here, I thought that I knew it was going to be raining today, and I thought surely we could come in here with it raining at 12 o'clock and move this stand, get it hung up without spooking anything. We get up here right to our stand, and we look, and he's standing right out there in the woods. I used to pray for these kind of days, and I think I just killed the biggest buck I ever killed in Tennessee with a bow after 30-something years, 30 years of bow hunting.
What's that back?
son, I smoked him 26 yards. He's down right over here. I saw him go down. Let's go put our hands on him.
Well, you know, I got down, found the area, it's covered in blood, and there's blood. Even though it's raining, there's blood everywhere. And I mean, you know, I pretty much knew right where he was at, but it's still a good feeling to get down and see it. You know that you made a good shot, and we tracked him up. It just took us a couple minutes, and finally, after all this time and all the encounters, we finally had him.
Man, he's pretty. A good way to start the season off. That's a great Tennessee buck right there. Great Tennessee buck. Man, I wish that big point right there hadn't been broke off. But he's gorgeous. Pretty buck.
I'd like to dedicate this hunt to my mom. You know, she used to, you know, do so much for me when I was hunting. She'd get up every morning and fix me breakfast early when I wanted to go, and she'd take me and drop me off at this spot a lot of times and pick me up at dark. And you know, she passed away about 3 or 4 months ago, and you know, I miss her. And I want to dedicate this show to her.
If you put God, family, and country first, then you are a citizen of the Spook Nation. It's a percentage of know-how, a percentage of luck, and a whole lot of ain't never giving up. If you're hunting to live or living for the hunt, and do whatever it takes until you get the job done, then you're a spook, I'm a spook, we're all a spook. Doing exactly what we were born to do. So you're gonna have to bring it if you wanna tag along, cause you're joining the ranks, 20 million strong. It's a percentage of know-how, a percentage of luck, and a whole lot of ain't never giving up. When the beast is down, it's time for celebration. We're not taking away, we'll give it back to the nation. We believe, under God, indivisible. Spook Nation, 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 nation.